Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I ran into one of those moments where the autosave system kind of screws you over. Uh, I did not notice that when we ended last time, the game did not save after the conversation, so I had to play up to this point again, which took like 2 minutes, because, whatever. Anyway, do we have deductions to do? Oh yeah, just perform the autopsy report. Alrighty. So we're back to where we need to be, and that is go to Scotland Yard. Although I probably should have kept snooping around there. Oh well. The yard first. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy, then.
Cool. Now, I don't know why you'd have me face that direction of all places.
Locked.
It's locked. I can spy on nobody. Lestrade's not home. Alright, so let's take a look at the body.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
Okay.
There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination, so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
Okay, if you say so.
Nothing suspicious here.
Okay, how about here?
No redness, stings, or bruises.
Okay. And probably the face.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
And
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
good.
Now, let us examine the internal organs.
Ah, yay. So, what have we here?
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
Why do I need to rotate it?
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
I might click through this quickly. Just, to look at, surgeon
The
simulator
lungs
for
are
too long.
congested and edematous.
Interesting. I don't know what that means.
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Okay. Next, the liver.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
What else we got? Nothing?
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
Put it back. And lastly, we'll find out now, won't we?
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs.
Is the stomach supposed to be green, though? I don't know much about biology, so I can't confirm nor deny.
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Okay.
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No, a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Alright, now the autopsy is done. We know to gather stuff there, but we can connect those. Our only deduction. Did that. And now we gotta head back to Kew Gardens and do a lot of stuff. We don't need to go to Baker Street, do we? I guess I just search the archives. You know what? We're gonna save that for when we have more reasons to go to Baker Street. That way, this can be as streamlined as possible. And then we'll do everything we can do at Kew Gardens, and then we will most likely collect more things to do at Baker Street. So, if we wait to go there, we can knock out all the Baker Street stuff in one fair sweep. Fell sweep, whatever the expression is. Some sort of a sweep. Big sweep, little sweep, any kind of sweep. Yeah, move it along. This case is bigger than the last one, so loading might actually take forever. My stupid old computer has the Intel i7 processor. It used to be great for its time, but now it was 3 generations too slow to run anything. I wonder if it's worth buying the i10 and then like placing it in the computer myself so I can make this lab machine last longer. I really don't know. Alright, this is getting stupid. I know Kew Gardens is a big area, but we shouldn't need this much waiting to get there. Come on. Come on! Game. I'm actually getting worried. There we go! Took you long enough. Alright. And now let's go talk to you man in front. And we load some more. Ooh, there's a lot to do. First things first. I'm gonna spy at you. Alrighty. And that. And that. Unmarried A. I don't know why we care about that. And yeah, the gardener's hands. So.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the Colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
I don't like that excuse.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Alright.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, a great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
What kind of lifestyle?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and...
And...
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
That's as mild as it gets.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so. and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Let's talk about Mrs. White.
You mentioned a Miss White.
Or
Would
fine,
you tell
Miss
us
White.
more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Alright, and hey Watson, let's start by going in here.
Locked.
Oh, come on.
Locked.
Can I ask you now for the key? Right away? We sure can. Yay, so much for doing things in a streamlined, correct order. Give me keys!
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Alright, can I just pick the lock?
Locked.
Fine. I mean, I don't want to pick the lock, but
Locked.
it would save me having to track down the guy. Oh, well, we need to explore Kew Gardens anyway, so it wouldn't hurt to take a stroll on the, whimsical side or whatever. He is right here. Let's talk. Give me your keys. I want the keys now.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
I don't.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Sure.
We noticed that a part of the Colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Okay, and Miss White?
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Okay, this one too.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Alrighty.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Perfect. Now we have things to do, and I was going to go for a stroll through the gardens, but first, I want to see what you have to say about what we just learned.
Just be careful.
Absolutely nothing. Just be careful with the plants. I don't care. I'll burn this place to the ground if you're the culprit. Your poor precious greenhouse and stuff will be ruined. Alright. So we're going to kind of just go for a stroll through the greenhouse. Discovering all the spots there is to... Wow, what's with the game? Kind of like... I guess it's a big area or something. Or whatever. Yes, we're going to just run through it all. Wonder why the music is not triggered for this section, because it should have by now. Fine. What's that even say?
Dry tropics.
Boring. Let's go through the dry tropic. Yep, it's tropics, not topics. Okay. Whoa, wait, hold it.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes.
What's inside? Nothing inside, and there's a symbol on the bottom.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, let's continue. And this is just a little middle room. Doesn't look like there's anything of importance, so we'll keep going. Out here! Cool.
There is a smell of burning.
What is this? There's a fireplace here. And a broken pot. Let's see.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Interesting. Why would someone burn a pot?
A broom handle was half burned.
What else we got here?
The remains of a picture frame.
Okay. And a gas mask.
A protective mask.
Interesting. What else can I see from this? Nothing? It's really there.
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn.
And
A
this.
door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Interesting. There's more, eh?
The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Okay. Now that that's taken care of, let's see what we can find in this garden. Mow the lawn. No. No mowing. I hate mowing. Over.
Look, Holmes. This charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
We'll deal with that in a minute. In case you get lost, here's a map of the area.
Colonial collection.
That's not what I expect you to say.
A map of Kew Gardens.
There's the Legion, and I'm just gonna leave. We know the map's here. It's not gonna acknowledge the screen until I click on everything, and I don't quite want to. In here, what do we have?
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
And we'll need that for later. Probably for some experiment involving the vents. Okay. Let us try and get out of here. And I'm going to go into this building, the seed house.
Open.
Open. And there she is. Wow, she moves fast. Alrighty. Let's talk. Boy.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Yes, and it involves you! Gonna look you over and see what evidence we can find. If any. We always find something. Okay. And I might take a break from this game a little early. Usually I record several videos at once, but the game is kind of not liking being run today for some reason. I don't know why. Usually it's, what did I miss? Probably something in them. No. We're getting to the part of the game where it's beginning to become easier to miss items. There's only one more. Where is it? Expensive perfume. Anything. Nothing? Hello? I get what all that is, but I'm not skipping this. Expensive perfume. Where is it? This shouldn't be so hard to acknowledge, game. Where'd you put it? Seriously, where could it be? Wait, whoa! There it is. Unmarried. Alrighty, fine. Now, let's talk.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Okay.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Wow, that exploded.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
What a shame.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Okay.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Okay, and this one?
Would you happen to know why part of the Colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Okay.
Thank you, miss.
Now.
None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the Colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Indeed. So, what's on the list? Once it pops up, it's just going to say press tab to look at the evidence. And tab to look at the people's. I thought there was something in here, but maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? You can open this window, I think. Yeah.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial collection room.
Okay. And let's take a look at the work desk.
A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
We'll get there, I'm sure.
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used.
What's this? Nothing.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. This place serves as Albert's office.
Some office. I bet it gets hot and annoying in here. I would not like to work there. I'm going to try and open a few other windows. That one is blocked. This one is also blocked. This one is not. And there's no point in doing that right now. Alright. Now. Whoops, that's where we came in. I wanted to go the other way. This way. Here we go. Wait, is there anything on this that's of use?
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
No, we are not. Alright, so now we're gonna leave. Come out here and go straight into here. Perfect. And now we can look at whatever is in here. Which looks like nothing
The
much.
seeds of plant species are stored here.
That's probably why it's called the seed room. Watson, please move. I'll go the other way, fine. Make me take the long way, Watson. And it was for naught. Okay. Now. What's this? A bust? Who threw a bust here?
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Anything on the bottom? I don't think so. We already saw that. And we need to see something else, though. What? Seriously, what?
It is a...
We know that. But what else do I need to learn from it? Where... Not that. Usually it puts the evidence down when you don't need to learn anything else. But this one is still here. Aha!
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is.
It does indeed.
The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Interesting. Alrighty. Now, hey Watson, I'm away. Let's continue marching through. We might make it back to the offices in time to investigate those. This room. Let's see here. Aha! Diplomas, eh?
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year.
And?
A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
Cool. Alrighty. And what else? Just this. Another desk.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish.
Okay, what's it doing here? I thought his office was other places. Okay.
A
And
glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
oh, Hamish is the other weird dude. Okay. The guy I don't like very much. Can I open the? I'm gonna open
We can
that.
see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
That's worth noting. These posters.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing. But it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens.
And
This
this.
certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
They have horticultural I don't know. I'm not a plant person, so I guess if you're really into it, that
Locked.
you could. No, it's not. Hey, we've come full circle. Now, let's see what we can get in here. Indeed. And let's snoop talent. Ah, hello. Let me see these.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
I don't know.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Well, you'll not get one. At least, not in this episode. We're not gonna fetch Toby till we're done here. 'Cause
This is a
pain
table
to
for
get him.
experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Yeah. big a difference. Let's see. And this
A
phonograph.
used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Probably
I don't hear anything.
because there's nothing on it. Let's put the cylinder on right there. And now we can wind the crank.
Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
Okay, what's the other one? Why, another study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear
Oh.
from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Okay. And I think we're gonna call the episode there. So next time on Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments, we'll continue to explore this room and to also go fetch Toby. See you guys then.